if you play cards or you're a magician and you're always toying with a pack, there's something I need to warn you about that you can keep an eye on in your own pack, and that's the virus card. Now, it sounds like a made-up thing, but it's totally not, I swear. In fact, there just happens to be one here. It's when your cards start looking a bit peaky or a bit pale, like that one. And this is something that's dormant in all packs of cards and can go unnoticed for a long time. I'll give you an example. I've got a bunch of cards here. We'll slip the virus one in, and you'll notice how hard it is to spot if you're not really paying attention to it. It can just blend in with the others. But when you do spot your virus card, it needs to be taken out of the pack and quarantined pretty quickly, because otherwise things like this can happen. If you let it touch the other cards and just give it a second, the virus can spread, not only just to a single card, but actually a whole bunch of cards, and you'll just be left with a handful of blank cardboard. Let me show you just how contagious it can be. We'll come back to the virus card in a moment. We've got our other three here. It's too late for these guys, they're already done. But I'll show you how quickly it can spread through the deck. You just need to touch a couple of cards to the virus card and instantly they catch the same thing and vanish. Or if the virus card actually just touches the deck, then it can spread so quickly through the pack that you can't even keep up. And all the cards become just completely blank. Every single one here, all the way through. And here's the weirdest part. Do you know what happens to the faces of the cards? The virus card has them. So now we're going to take a look at the virus card, which is a fantastic and very commercial routine by Mark Leverage. And it's one I actually learned from Mark when I was a kid, and I've done it on and off ever since. I absolutely love it. So when I got the chance to buy the rights from Mark and present it to you guys, I snapped them up. So let's take a look at what you need to do it. You're going to have a pack of cards. The top one is a 52 on 1 card, which is just red backed, or blue back, depending on what your deck is made up of. Then you've got a whole bunch of, this is sort of 2/3 of a deck of red back blank faced cards. And then you're going to have about a dozen or so, which are blank backed regular face cards. So that's what your deck actually consists of. And to set it up, you need to take your virus card, drop your red back blank face cards on top, and then gather up these and flip over one sort of 4 or 5 cards from the back. And I like to do a court card because then there's more contrast when that goes blank. So I'm going to do the Jack of Clubs here and just flip that over and shove that back where it came from. And they go on the face of the deck, and then you can put the whole lot in a card box or whatever, and you're ready to perform. Here's the performance of the virus card. Take out the deck. I spread through the top few just as I'm chatting to show the backs casually. And then I turn over and I run through them. It depends what your presentation is going to be. You can either be kind of like, let me show you something with this pack because there's a virus card in it. Or if you're a better sort of at acting, you could make out that you're going to do a different trick and then kind of notice the virus card and go, oh, let me show you what that's about. Either way, you spread through the faces, spread as wide as you can so they see as many of the faces as they can. And then when you come to the blank one, just set that one down. So you want to give them a good image of this so they see the blank card coming out of a regular looking deck. You square everything up, turn it over, set it down, and then I talk about how the virus can be dormant and unnoticeable in a pack of cards. So you just take off the top 3 without reversing their order. So that's your position. You've got your virus card on top and then the 2 blanks underneath. This one goes into 3rd from top for an Elmsley count. And then that's exactly what we're going to do. Just while we're chatting, I'll say if you might not even notice it if you were just playing cards with them or something. It seems to blend in with the others. And you just do a quick Elmsley count to show that apparently the virus card has gone. Flip the packet over. That brings the face card into view. You're going to pull back that one and then push forward the card behind it. So that's the blank card, but it hasn't revealed your other ones in the packet. So this is the animal alignment move, and it goes like that. So you slide that card out, you can show it, and apparently it's the same virus card as before, when of course really it's been switched in. And you're going to, as you show that, get a little finger break underneath the jack of clubs here. So you say, you should see what happens when it comes in contact with the other card. So you just flip the virus card over, and then you lift off a double, which is aided by the brake here, and you just kind of make a little rubbing motion as it then apparently wipes the jack blank, which is a really nice sort of visual moment there. Set the double in the right hand underneath the cards in the left, and then we're going to do an OPEC count, which is exactly the same as the Elmsley count, but it just means that you take the bottom card on the count of 1 instead of the top. So it's exactly the same technique. You take the bottom card out, and then you do your normal Elmsley count, push over and switch. As you say, look, the virus, it spreads really quickly through all of the cards. Flip them all face down. We're going to do a block push off or block turnover of the top 3 cards as one to again show a blank card. Flip that back, deal it off to the side. So say there's the virus card. And then I'm going to do a little all-round subtlety to apparently re-show these as all being blank again. So I flip them over, I take off the top one with the right hand, and then I turn over the left hand to show the backs. So you go, that's back number 1. And then as you turn this over and show here, back number 2, you let the top card of these pair slide off. So you go 1, 2, 3, and it looks so much like they see both sides of those. It's a real killer. So you drop those down, and then you're pretty much home and dry because the deck is the easy part. You come up and you can just thumb off a few cards, touch them to the virus card, flip them over, and spread through to show that they've all turned blank. And then you slip those to the bottom, which is a really clever idea because it's going to then coalesce with the other cards and save you having to half pass these. So it's very, very clever indeed. And then I pick up the virus card and say, and if you let it touch all of the cards, this is what happens. The virus spreads through the pack so fast you can't catch up. And I'm just repeating the same action, turning over a bunch of cards and slipping them to the bottom each time until eventually you come to the point where all of the cards are the right way up and you can spread out as wide as you like to show that every single card is apparently now blank. That gets a great reaction from laymen, so leave it there for a second. And then you get the tagline, which is great, where you say, do you know what actually happened to the faces of all the cards? The virus card has them. And then you turn it over to reveal your 52 on 1 card, and Shazam, you are done.